How's it going, everyone? Just wanted to record a bit of an intro video for this week. So let's actually look at the week 6 checklist just to get started. I'm sure the thing that everyone is focused on at the moment is our first exam. And please don't forget that that is due tomorrow night by midnight. And in addition to completing the exam within Mastering Engineering, you'll want to make sure that you're writing out your work by hand. That way you can upload it into the Dropbox that I have set up on this week's module. And what that will allow me to do is when I go back and look at your exam grade, if I'm able to add any extra credit for a question that you might have missed, I will be happy to do that as long as the work that you show really shows that you know the basics of the material. So really do, as you're showing your work, even though you're under a little bit of a time crunch, try to show me as much evidence that you can that you're really grasping the material from the lecture. In terms of the actual lecture content this week, we're going to start focusing in on Chapter 4. What we're going to do is kind of move away from those particle assumptions that were valid when all of the forces acting on a body were concurrent. Meaning that their lines of actions all pass through a single point. And if you recall in that scenario, what really was happening is the bodies would only undergo translation. They wouldn't undergo any actual rotation. And what we're going to do this week is kind of relax that assumption and analyze free bodies that are subject to both translation, which just means shifts in their position, along with rotation. And in order to do that, we're going to need the mathematical tool, which is known as the vector product or the cross product. So that's actually what we're going to talk about in Chapter 4. We'll have 2 lectures on that. Note that, as I mentioned here on the notes, I'm going to post the actual homework assignments for Chapter 4 towards the end of the week. They won't be due until next week. So don't think that no homework is coming on Chapter 4. It is. I just don't want people to start to feel overwhelmed this week with the exam. Please note, I know a lot of you are really ahead on the material, and that's a wonderful thing, but I think because of the late start, as I mentioned a few times, we have quite a few people that are a little bit behind. In addition to watching the 2 lectures this week and getting in your first exam, and I'll go back to the course module just to show you where that work Dropbox is. It's located right here. You just want to click on it and upload your work. Notice that there's also a discussion board assignment this week. And what I'm trying to do is make you aware of the fact that we do have a tutor for the course. He is totally remote. He's in Houston, but here are his hours. In addition to me, he'd be happy to talk with you and review any of the concepts that you might need help on. And what will probably happen is if there's some bad grades on exam 1 and we need to do a little bit of an extra credit opportunity, that will likely involve either meeting with Austin or myself directly, just so we can make sure that we can try to really highlight the issues that you may be having with the course and push through them. Because what you'll find when you eventually take the time and master this material up to this point is that it's not really challenging from like a physical perspective. It's just kind of getting used to the nomenclature of your book and making sure that you're comfortable with the underlying vector mathematics. So I'll see you all in probably, I'm going to record the first lecture for the week here in a minute. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good week.